Good morning, everyone. Today is the 4th October, um, 2022. 4th October is the World Animal Day. This is a day that was celebrated for the patron saint of animals, Saint Francis of Assisi. It is a day that we take time to reflect and ponder over the plight of animals all over the world. It is therefore everyone's responsibility to look into this matter, look and see how our activities affect animals around you and animals that we encounter wherever we work, wherever we live, wherever we essentially operate. So why is it important to celebrate World Animal Day? Why is it important to look at the welfare of animals? Um, as you already know, animals, the way we treat animals, as Mahatma Gandhi famously quoted, you can see how a nation treats her citizens by the way they treat their animals. We also have seen studies that have been conducted in more advanced societies that have revealed the relationship between animal cruelty and criminal activities in society. So, if we are not able to raise the level of care we give our animals, it is then unlikely that we shall care for each other as human beings. So, when we look at the care of animals, and how that impinges on everything else, you realize it is worthy the time and sometimes resources to celebrate World Animal Day. Um, you can see right now issues of climate change. I experienced Hurricane Ian in Florida and areas around Texas in the USA. We've seen floods in Pakistan. There's been, bushfires in the Amazon, melting of the glaciers on the North Atlantic Pole and the Antarctica, in the south. It is causing all sorts of problems, flooding, loss of lives. We saw people dying in Sierra Leone from floods. We also registered several deaths in Mbali just recently. So climate change comes in all sorts of forms. Many deaths of animals in India, the buffaloes and cattle, and of course it impacts on disease outbreaks, as we saw in India. We've seen, just animals dying and collapsing from drought, essentially thirst and lack of food resources. So, how does this, how does the human or mankind activities impact on animals? You know, by essentially destroying the habitat or exploiting, irresponsible exploitation of our natural resources, we notice that um, we affect the ecosystems, and the ecosystems involve the flora, and not just the flora, but also the fauna, which are the animals. And these, get affected in many ways. Death is the ultimate sign, but human wildlife conflict, when animals come out of these habitats and encroach on people's well-being by eating their um, food resources, like invading their gardens. they could kill people, and when they kill people in the process, there's going to be retaliation. Always, it's the animals that suffer because human beings, are pretend over this world. Um, there are other, less direct effects like disease transmission. When animals come out of their natural habitat and they interact with people, whether directly or indirectly, they can pass on diseases. We've seen, several diseases like Ebola, diseases like Marburg, and many other emerging and re-emerging diseases, that have invariably been traced back to wildlife, either through consumption, interaction, directly or indirectly. So these are some of the things. And also in a more um, deliberate way in trying to improve food resources to the world, we've seen that there is an improvement, you can call it improved animal production systems, which in the eyes of the animals, it seems improved in terms of production because, there's more animal products on the market, but it is obviously not improved in terms of humanity and in terms of, animal welfare. The impact of this is, the cropping up of um, the movement towards, embracing factory farms or intensive farming systems. Such systems include feedlots, they include deep litter systems, they include, um, the falling cages, and many other production systems that, negatively impact on the well-being of animals. The biggest hit industry is the chicken industry, and this has been driven by, the whole industry of fast foods, and of course, the innate desire of human beings to consume animal products. Um, it is, it was, in the recent history, seen to be a trendy thing, you know, um, in the Western world to eat chicken and beef and all these kind of things. The result of that has been lots of, lifestyle conditions like obesity, diabetes, and several endocrino conditions arising from that. Things like allergies and you know various animal related um, health challenges. This has been it's had a knock-on effect on our health generally. And right now, what was seen to be um, luxurious eating is now looked down upon, and it is probably the cheapest, food you can get. So people are looking at organic, diets and the more, aware people actually running away from animal-based diets and moving into plant-based diets. This is a cultural movement, that is not only geared towards improving our health, it also improves, animal welfare. And for the moderate minds, they look at the origin of these animal products. They want to look at, free-range chickens. They want to see, um, you know, what kind of systems these animals or these the animals whose products they're consuming were raised. It brings in the issue of traceability and several other systems, and of course issues of accreditations and approvals by certain inspecting authorities, and of course to the farmers, this brings in some extra income, but it does not necessarily completely erase the animals suffering. So of course, the ultimate decision, the ultimate position is to completely run away from animal-based diets and move to plant-based diets. Now, the dilemma in Africa is that, whilst we're still having a hunger, we're still having malnutrition problems, we're still having, a high level of poverty, it is not easy to preach the same in an African setting. It's not easy to essentially go against government policy, that might be informed by UN charters and SDGs and stuff like that, that are geared towards improving human health, towards reducing stunted growth, so towards reducing childhood mortality, where, feeding of animal products like milk, and other related nutritional ingredients is promoted, actively promoted. So as animal welfare, as animal welfareists or animal welfare minded individuals, we are faced with a dilemma. And on this day, the World Animal Day, these are some of the issues that we need to look at. These are some of the issues that we need to tackle head on and devise means of being able to pass a communication, pass a message that can be accommodated by the very poor, and also that, essentially resonates with the people that actually, have already established that promotion of animal products has an impact on health, and not just health, has got an impact on the environment. We earlier on talked about the hurricanes, the fires, the pit bog, um, um, fermentations, and the methane that comes from them, goes into the stratosphere. All these are brought about by what we do as human beings. And one of those things is promotion of animal products. So much natural vegetation, for example, in the Amazon basin, has been destroyed, to create gardens of soy, to create corn, gardens of corn or cornfields, in countries that produce corn. All these products are ingredients are consumed mainly by animals, or they're consumed by the animal industry. So as we tackle the issue of poverty and hunger in Africa, we have a lot of food that is produced at the expense of nature, at the expense of natural vegetation that is used as carbon sinks for the whole world, but only to feed the animal industry, and which animal industry causes us health issues. So it is such an irony that we actually deny a certain population somewhere of food, and give it to animals to produce food that is then going to cause us health problems. So it is at such a time that we need to sit down and reflect on all these issues and find ways that we can mitigate or find common ground with the people that do this as a business, those that think it is immoral, that we abuse animals, that we are supposed to pretend over to such a level, and for those that think that our actions, or the people who breed or who invest in this kind of animal production value chains, have an effect on the environment, which affects everybody, everyone, you know, including those farms. I know it will eventually hit them, and it has already, with all the emerging diseases that we've seen that are affecting, you know, not just the wildlife, not just the human beings, but also um, the food industry or the food production systems that involve animals. I would like to end this video with congratulating you once again on reaching this World Animal Day, uh, 4th of October, and wish you all, a good day, and of course, a nice, thoughtful, and deliberation on animals as a species. When I talk about animals, I mean the fish, I mean the birds, the mammals, the reptiles, and all the animals in the animal kingdom, because they all get affected. Some of them, some of them we don't even notice, we don't even realize. But I think there's a statistic I came across saying that just in the last century we've lost over 1.9 million species. Now, when you talk about species, you're going to think about the ones that you see, like the rhinos, the black rhinos. You're going to talk about animals like chimpanzees, like the gorillas. We're going to talk about animals that you see, and most of those animals are what they call the charismatic animals, but there are many, many, many more less charismatic animals that suffer because of our actions. And we can use the gorillas, we can use the rhinos, we can actually invest so much money in breeding them, in moving them around, the great pandas, the giant pandas in China and all those. But it is those other smaller beings, that go unnoticed, that pay the ultimate price. And it is those that make up the 1.9 million extinct species that I'm talking about. So we use the charismatic species, charismatic animals, as flagships. So once you're protecting, for example, windy forest, windy impenetrable national park, it's called the windy impenetrable forest national park. We use the gorillas to protect that forest. The gorillas are the flagship species, but under the umbrella of the gorillas, you're able to protect many more species by protecting the ecosystem in which the gorillas live. So it is with those few words that I'd like to wish you a great day and a nice deliberation. Thank you for listening to me. Bye bye.